The sixth session is called Make Things Happen. What do I mean by make things happen? A, I am not going to wait for somebody to do things which I want in my life. I am going to make things happen. B, chances are very high what I want to do in my life, there are enough other people who are also attempting the same. Alexander Graham Bell was not the only person who was attempting to invent the telephone. There were a few more people at the same time attempting to invent the telephone. If I want to create a top-class parenting app, I am not the only person in the world who's concerned about parenting. There must be many other people who are also thinking and dreaming about parenting is a powerful force, and through this, let's transform the world. We are not the only people who are concerned about children in class 9th and 10th and doing something on life skills with them. In their own way, there are many other organizations who wish to do this and who are playing their role. Can I learn from them? Can I borrow from them? Can I collaborate with them? Because I am much smaller than the goal I have. I am playing a role in making things better. My responsibility is to make things happen. And make things happen necessarily does not mean do it alone. Make things happen, work together, and it will happen sooner and better. Make things happen is all about assuming responsibility. If my married life is not going good, can I say, I'm going to make things happen? If my child is off track, can I say, I'm going to make things happen? If my health is not good, can I say, I can make things happen? Financially, if I am not stable yet, can I say, I'll make things happen? I don't have right people in the right number inside my organization. Can I say, I'll make things happen? The world belongs to people who say, I will make things happen. The world does not belong to people who say, I don't think I can. The world belongs to people who say, I will make things happen. These three words, make things happen, can be the most powerful things. And this conviction that I will make it happen will become an anchor to your brain and keep it from getting distracted. There are stormy seas, and yet your ship will be stable when you have decided, I will make things happen. Who's a leader? A leader is not somebody who is seen as a leader. Leader is not somebody who has a title. A leader is not somebody who is the boss. The leader is not somebody who is the head of the family. A leader is somebody whose thinking process is either let's make things happen or I will make things happen in my life. Satish was speaking about David Goggins when he says you are at your best, you are still at your 40%, which means I will make miracles happen, not just make things happen. अभी जो कर रहा हूं तो 40% है, 150% प्रोग्रेस तो अभी भी बाकी है, बहुत कर सकते हैं अपन. Unless you challenge yourself, life won't be exciting. irrespective of the challenge you have in your life, will you dare to say, I'll make things happen? This is how KFM happened this year. Otherwise, there were enough people who in March end and April asked me, Naren, this year it will be right for us to skip KMM because schools ka malum nahi, technology ka malum nahi, we don't know when this is going to happen, we can't take a risk, right? No, not right. We will make things happen. Hoga, karenge. And the doors that we are opening up this year, which includes the National Channel for School Education, which includes the work which will happen with Diksha, which includes Bharat at 100. Imagine 3 extraordinary things. And through this, in times to come, we will make really good things happen in our country. And like rebirth happened because of Sapre Vedare, who knows, because of Bharat of 100 this year, because of what children see through Diksha, through National Channel for School Education, क्या हो सकता है? And who knows, because of you going to your class and speaking about, this is my dream of Bharat at 100, and this is my responsibility in Bharat at 100. Now, my dear friends inside the classroom, what about you? And imagine you inspire every child in your class. You know, we have some stalwarts who are doing extraordinary work with children inside the classroom. Shripal was telling me the other day that out of 58 children, 57 had their videos on, if I remember the numbers right. And there are some people who are having 100 children inside the classroom, everybody video on, which means they have understood how to make things happen inside the classroom. And imagine if Shripal can make every child with video on submit that video. And your class, which has 100 children, imagine you can make all 100 of them submit their videos. And they get a certificate for that. And if their video is good, they move into a group where there is mentoring, coaching, exposure. Like the child who says there should be no rape. I was speaking with one of our board of advisors, Eka, and Eka said, Naren, we should be able to send that child for 1 month to work in prisons where he can interview a few rapists and find out what is their mindset. We can send them to a few rape victims and say, what did you go through and how did you deal with it? The way we made that movie called Chapak on acid burn, can we make a movie on, in spite of rape, what incredible life they're having, so that nobody thinks that through rape I am destroying a person. You know, rape is never about sex. Rape is all about power. Rape is all about making somebody feel helpless. Sex is available easier, cheaper, and I don't have to do something heinous. But I don't feel power and I don't see somebody helpless under me through the sex that I can buy. So rape is not about sex, it's about power. It's about making people feel helpless. And therefore, if a rape victim says, I am not helpless at all, I am having a great life, the whole theory over there goes through it just goes through the doors. Now, can we create a movement around this and at one end empower women to take care of themselves, make martial arts a part of every school in the country, create something or enable somebody through an app or through technology where girls can learn all this? And this is what I read in the newspapers the other day. A lady who fought off terrorists because she learned Taekwondo by observing videos. Who knows, this child, when given the right exposure, can bring about a transformation in our country. And this child needs to just believe in this. I'll make things happen. And then we can support, encourage, motivate, create a team. Tasneem, we need leaders. We need somebody who will say, okay, I will read it and I'm going to be a part of this. And thank you so much, Tasneem, for volunteering for this. This is what make things happen is all about. And Eka told me something which again gives me goosebumps. She said, Naren, if there is anybody from technology, I will talk to the director of ISRO, who's my friend, and if somebody says, I want India to lead in technology, we will send them for a 3-month internship to ISRO, where they should be able to shadow the director of ISRO, know what India is planning for the next 5 years, 10 years in ISRO. He should get electrified by, yaar, technology mein kitna kuch ho raha hai. And this will be only available to people who are a part of Bharat at 100. And through the videos, when we feel, okay, this child is about to do something, thoda commitment lag raha hai usme. Together, we'll make things happen. Bharat at 100 is not an ordinary thing. It will be a nation builder. It will be a nation builder. And I repeat, I appeal, think about it. Would you like to stay outside and watch this thing happen? Or would you like to be inside and see the mentoring, get exposed to all these extraordinary initiatives? And like Eka was saying, we will give them disproportionate rewards. Things that money cannot buy. How about talking to an agency and sending them to NASA for 3 months? We'll find a corporate sponsor. But we need to feel in that child the determination, okay, I'm going to make things happen. 3 small words. 3 small words. Make things happen. But this is the game changer. And that is what creates a Mahatma Gandhi, and that is what creates an APJ Abdul Kalam, and that is what creates a Jhansi Ki Rani Lakshmibai. And that is what creates a Kiran Bedi, and that is what creates a Kailash Satyarthi. And that is what creates a Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and that is what creates a Virat Kohli. What is remarkable among people is I'm going to make things happen. And when you have this determination, I'm going to make things happen, you apply CRSE and see it becoming a reality. So let's go through the session that we have had so far for you to understand how everything is getting built up. I wish and pray that breathing exercises were done well by you, and breathing exercises will help in making things happen. Inspire your entire class with this belief that you can make things happen. And I am giving this as a challenge to every speaker. Can you inspire your class and make them believe you can make things happen? And for that, trust me when I say this to you, you have it in you to make things happen. There is nothing in this planet which can stop you from experiencing greatness. There is no proof which says you cannot create a revolution. You can make things happen. Having explained this to children inside the classroom, then say, in today's session, let me focus on a few techniques by which you can make brilliant results in your studies, in your class. Let's discuss about some techniques by which you can make things happen in studies. So what are the things that you need to do, or what are the tools that you have by which you can excel in your studies? The first is breathing techniques. The breathing techniques that we discussed inside the last session is what will help them to focus. The breathing techniques that we discussed with children inside the last session will help them to declutter their mind. The breathing techniques that we discussed with children in the last session will help them to increase their energy levels and absorb things beautifully from the books and from the teachers even if they're used to studying inside a classroom, but now they are studying through technology, doesn't make a difference if you're mentally prepared. First, with this conviction, I'm going to make things happen. And two, I prepare myself by right breathing. What is the next thing by which children will be able to study beautifully well? Let me discuss the next technique with you. This is a very, very famous technique. Personally, this is my favorite technique when I come to learning anything in life. It's something as simple as preview, study, and review. Now, what does preview mean? Ask the teachers what are they going to teach in the next period. So if today is, let's say, Tuesday and I have geography, and my next geography period is on Friday, at the end of the class, let me ask the teacher, ma'am, on Friday, what are you going to teach so that I can read what is there in the textbooks and get ready? And if the teacher says, okay, I'm going to speak about the fault lines which runs across the crust of the earth, which makes some countries in the world very liable to earthquakes. We are going to discuss about that in the next session. Now what happens? A child like me says, oh, we are going to discuss about fault lines, earthquakes, countries. ये देखते हैं यार कौन-कौन सी country है? And I go to my textbook, I do an online research. What is this thing called fault line? And I realize it lies under the oceans. Oh my God. Oh, there are plates. Baapre. The only plate I knew till now was the plate on which I eat food at home. Looks like Earth has many plates and these plates clash with each other. अच्छा बर्तन की आवाज होती है ना सिंक में जैसे. Similarly, when there is a volcano or when there is an earthquake, that huge sounds are being made. इतको सा प्लेट से इतना आवाज होता है, उसका क्या पावर होगा? Has anybody measured that power? Is it possible? Can we predict when the plates are going to clash? And now you are not just studying geography to score marks. You are learning. You're also thinking about maybe there is a career in this. You're also thinking about maybe I can invent a technology by which millions of lives can be saved. It's not just a 2-mark question on tell me 3 countries which lies on the fault lines of the Sumatra plate and the Indonesia plate, where the answers would be, let's say, countries like Indonesia, Burma and Japan. You preview. You have not yet heard the teacher speaking. And when you come to the class, you have 5 questions and a lot of ideas. And when the teacher reads, this is what happens. When there is regular earthquake in Japan, how do those people create these multi-storied buildings? What would be the science over there? Is the architecture college curriculum over there different from the architecture which is taught in our country? You speak about practical things and everybody's intelligence in the class expands just because you did preview. Of course, after preview comes study. So when the teacher teaches inside the classroom, you absorb what the teacher is saying. And then after the class is over, that night before sleeping, you review what you had read, what you have researched, what the teacher taught, the answers she gave, and the answers which, or the questions which might come to you now. You don't even have to revise before exams. The whole thing is inside you. You don't have to expand a 1-paragraph answer into 2 pages and laugh about it. You actually have 2 pages of things to write on the question which is asked. You become a great student through preview, study, and review. What is the next technique which will help you to study? Very simple. First things first. And first time right. What do I mean by this? This is my personal favorite. Let's first discuss about first things first. When I plan, I ask myself, what is more important? And whatever is more important has to be done first. Which means I will not let my urgencies or others' urgencies drive my life. I will let what is important things drive my life. First things first. It means whatever is important will be done first. Everything else will come later on. On my WhatsApp, I see 25 messages. And in 5 minutes, I am moving into a crucial counseling. First things first, what should be done? Should I focus for 5 minutes on the person whom I am going to counsel and understand what can be beautiful ways by which I can guide? Or should I go through my WhatsApp and go unprepared for that meeting and therefore become less effective in that counseling? What is first things first? I bet all of you will say, no, in those 5 minutes, stay composed, stay focused, be prepared. First things first is easy when you say, I will make things happen. First things first is very difficult when you say, but you know those notifications are tempting me. First things first. Huge, powerful weapon for those who want to make things happen. And what is first time right? First time right means when I am doing something, let me do it zero defect, or let me want to do it zero defect in the first instance itself. Which means I will not do something now and then adjust later and then correct after some time. यार मैनेज कर लेना, इतना अभी जाने देना, बाद में देखेंगे. नहीं. First time right means doing it right the first time you want to do it. Now from volunteers perspective, if you are going for a mock, you don't say कि आज थोड़ा mock दे देते हैं, फिर बाद में improve करेंगे ना. No, get it right the first time. Go with the mock saying, in a single shot I will complete my mock. There is not going to be a rehearsal. First things first also means you give the mock when you are supposed to give. You don't give the mock when you cannot be delayed anymore. I was watching in one of the AC groups. Tomorrow morning is the session and tonight the mock is happening. First things first, first time right is not working out over here. नहीं अभी क्लास में बहुत टाइम है. कितना टाइम है? 2 दिन पढ़ा है. When do you think the work of preparing these sessions for KMM starts? Saturday evening? The work for the next session will start tonight. I'll think about it for 7 days. Next week on Monday, Harsha will come to office and I'll tell her, okay, this is the kind of session I want. Then Harsha will put her brains on it for 2 days, 3 days, and she will come up with one creative. Then on that we'll discuss again. And when she brings a creative, she brings it saying, this has to be approved by Naren. There cannot be scope of improvement. Let me get it first time right. And then I might say, brilliant job. Or I might say, this needs to change over here and this is the reason. And she improves, and next time she says, I'm going to get it right the first time. For 3-4 days these things happen. So by Thursday everything is okay. Then it goes for translation in Marathi and in Hindi. And then, much before time, we are ready. And therefore there is no pressure to take the session. Because we get it first things first and first time right. Use examples from the children's life and inspire them to get things first and first time right. What's the next point? This is an incredible technique which is called 50-minute hour. Now what does 50-minute hour mean? One of the reasons why people lose their motivation is when they don't take a break when they are tired. Of course, at work I have this philosophy, relax as you work. Which means I don't relax after work. I should be able to relax as I am working, so that when my work is completed, I am still a relaxed person. I don't need a break. 50-minute hour means if there is a work which is scheduled for 1 hour, ensure it gets done in 50 minutes. And then in that 10-minute, take a break. And what kind of a break? If you have to go to the loo, go to the loo. If you have to check the messages, check the messages. If you want to just stretch yourself, stretch yourself. You want to listen to a beautiful song so that you can relax, do that. You want to go and teach somebody else at home, do that. You want to have some fun, do that. You want to take a bite, do that. Don't work non-stop. Psychologists in America practice this 50-minute hour, where if they've given somebody a 1 hour work or 1 hour appointment, the appointment gets over in 50 minutes. After that, the psychologist might take notes. He might file away the audio. He might call his wife. He might call his children and ask, how are you doing? He might schedule an evening dinner with a few friends. And then he might go through the file of the next patient. He has this 10-minute break in which he does a lot of these million small things. And then for the next patient, he's ready. A part of his mind is not lingering on the pending work. Every 10 minutes, he's completing the pending works. So when children sit to study, and let's say they have to study for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, after every 40 minutes, 50 minutes, let them take a small break. And as far as adults are concerned, follow this 50-minute hour. 50-minute hour need not mean by the clock 50-minute hour. It means just when you can see that your intensity is dropping a little, take that little small break. By the way, please don't reverse the numbers. Let the break not be 50 minutes and study for 10 minutes. Let the break in work not be 50 minutes where you are on social media, you are updating everything, you are responding to WhatsApp messages, you are very busy in forwarding things to everybody, and then you focus on work for 10 minutes. Aisa mat karna yaar. You can call it a power break also. Yes, Swati, that's a good idea. 50-minute hour. Very powerful. Very powerful. Even if you have worked for 10 hours with 50-minute hour concept, you won't feel tired. And when you don't feel tired, next day you are again ready to work with 100% excitement and energy. What's the next? The next point is eat light when you have to work. Don't eat very heavy food when you are working. The lighter you eat, the better you will be able to perform. Because all the energy of your body is not going towards food. So when children have to study, and they know they have to absorb, they know that they have to solve, they know they have to understand, food should be light. Which means cheese with 2 layers of pizza is ruled out. Good vegetables. Fruits can be very fruitful. The lighter you eat, the better you will be able to focus to study. Avoid fried fruits if you have to work at your peak. Eat as much natural fruits as possible when you have to study well. So this is another very beautiful study technique. What's the next one? The next one is digital detox. A lot of research has found that when I am too busy with the screen or I am too involved with my phone, I kind of develop a little numbness. I become helpless. I put up something and then I become anxious. How many people will like? Will they like or not? Why others are being liked so much? Plus, when I study by looking at the computer all the time, The computer doesn't give me emotions in turn. From a teacher, I get a lot of emotions. From my peers inside my classroom, I get a lot of emotions, I get a lot of energy. I don't get the same energy from the computer. So let's say I'm reading a textbook or I'm solving something. I don't get energy. So every now and then a digital detox is a great idea. Which means, tell yourself, next half an hour, no screen. Listen to music, go to the balcony, read a book, physical book in your hands. Interact with people, maybe call somebody and just chat with your friend. Hey, how are things going on? Is it going great or not? But give yourself these deep breaks from the digital world and it will help you in a very, very big way to focus. And then let me share with you the last technique as a part of performance technique. This is called talk to positive people. This is extraordinarily powerful. And let me take a few minutes to delve deeper into this point. Some of us will be blessed to be surrounded by good people in our family who are also very positive. Some of us may be having family members who are good people, but very anxious. They panic soon, or maybe they get angry soon. Or maybe they can see what is not okay or what is wrong very soon. As a result of which, it drains you of energy and it keeps your focus away from productive things. And these negatives kind of becomes a part of you too. So if you find somebody around you anxious, you think is something wrong that I am cool? And unknowingly, you also might become an anxiety-prone person. You find somebody complaining all the time, like मेरे पास बहुत काम है, मैं सुबह से शाम काम कर रहा हूँ, कोई मेरे को देखता भी नहीं है, किसी को मेरी परवाह ही नहीं है, अरे उसने नहीं किया, तुमने ये काम ठीक नहीं किया. There are some people who make it a part of their life to only talk about what is not okay. And let's say you also have such people around you. Now you can't be a victim. You have to make things happen. You can't be a victim. So what do? You identify positive people in your world. It can be a family member, it can be a neighbor, it can be a teacher, it can be a student in the class. In the case of adults, it can be a friend, it can be a colleague, it can be a business partner, it can be a neighbor. Find positive people in your life. Find people who are naturally positive. When you speak to them, at the end of it, you should believe the world is a beautiful place to live in. Now, Pramila is speaking about support groups. Yes, support group is a good idea, but support group is a little more about certain issues. Let's say somebody is an alcoholic, so they have a support group where other people will motivate them to give up alcohol. So that's a very specific objective over there. I'm also speaking about generally positive people. Because sometimes you may not have in it you to discuss the issue that you have, but you just want to feel good. You know, all of us have some people, you meet them and you feel nice. People who are naturally cheerful. People who can crack crazy PJs. People who are not going to rest till they can make you laugh. People who are in deep trouble and yet you are very happy. People who can always see the lighter side of life. Identify some naturally positive people like this in your life and interact with them on a very, very regular basis. All that we have discussed today are the different kinds of study techniques with which children will be able to learn better and therefore perform better. So what are the study techniques that we discuss in this classroom? One, breathing exercises, which we have already taken in the session before. In the classroom, maybe you can take them through a 1-minute revision of the breathing techniques. Then you take them through preview study review. The way I took an example about geography, you can take an example, the same example, or you can take another example of another subject which is close to your heart and which you believe will connect well with children inside the classroom. Let me give you another example over there, very beautiful example. Leo Felice Buscaglia had a father whose name was Tullio. And every time Tullio would come home, he would go to the bathroom, clean himself because he worked as a miner in a coal mine. And as they sit on the dining table, Buscaglia's father Tullio would ask everybody, "Hey, what is interesting which is happening in your life? What did you learn today?" And everybody on the table had to answer what did they learn today. If they have not answered, dinner did not start. Irrespective of how hungry the children were, dinner wouldn't start if everybody has spoken about what did they learn today. Buscaglia writes in his book called Love, one of the most profound books on love ever. If any one of you wants to take a deep dive on this word called love, I very strongly suggest book titled Love by Leo Buscaglia. One of those evenings, Buscaglia said, "I learned that Nepal is the only Hindu kingdom in the whole world." And immediately Tullio looked his wife Rosa, Felice's mother, and said, "Rosa, did you know this?" Rosa says, "What? I didn't even know there are kingdoms in the mountains of Himalayas." The food was not eaten, everybody shifted to the library, encyclo books were taken out, and they kept on reading for half an hour, 45 minutes. Interesting, animated discussion. Hinduism so large, but only one country. What do you think could be the reason for it? Why India is not a Hindu country? Why does it call itself a secular country? And like that, profound, deep discussions would keep happening. If a kingdom is in Himalayas, does it mean it will always be very cold? No, Kathmandu is very hot. I mean, their temperatures are 42, 43 degrees centigrade. But we thought that if a kingdom is in Himalayas, it must be pretty cold. What happens then? It was no more one small thing like Nepal is the only Hindu kingdom in the world and it is in Himalayas. It expanded worldview, brought in many angles. Now this is what is possible when we do preview. And then you go inside the classroom, excited to share what you know and excited to learn what you don't know. So preview, study and review is the next thing that you discuss. Then of course you discuss about first things first and first time right. When you get things first time right, you get a lot of time. When you get first time wrong, third time right, fourth time right, you have to do the same thing again and again. Kitna time waste hota hai? First things first means you are a very relaxed person because things happen at the right time. You have time for all the things you want to do in the world. So first things first, first time right is not just going to help you in studies, it is also going to help you in living a balanced life. And then 50-minute hours so that we can relax, we don't get stressed and we are not attempting to learn when the energy is still low. I know children, they are like this, but they are still studying. No, I have to study. But how do you study when your body is going like that? You might be there for 2 hours, not sleep, not study. It's a waste of your time. So do 50-minute hour, take a power nap if you want, come back fresh and then study. 50-minute hour, brilliant concept. Then of course, digital detox, then light food, and then ensure that you have enough positive people with whom you interact on a daily basis. These are very, very simple techniques. But any child who lives implementing these techniques will see profound impact in their life. And then before you end the session, you talk again about Bharat at 100. You speak over there about what is it that we have done. You talk over there about this website which has been created, which they are invited to go and visit if they feel like. In the discussion column or in the chat box, key in this bharatat100.com and show it to them. Of course, share about what you want to do. If you want, speak about how the biggest organized organ donation drive was launched because one person, for an exercise of creating a video, decided, chalo organ donation pe ek video banate hain. And then thousands of lives have been saved. If you want, speak about how this young child has written about there should not be a single rape in the country. And see if you can inspire them to think something. And let's see, when we have the last session, what are the numbers that I can share with you based on the magic that you have created inside the classroom. So after speaking about Bharat at 100, you complete the session, inspiring children once again with those 3 words. Don't wait for anybody in the world to help you and make things happen. You decide to make things happen, people will come and help you. And let me complete this session by telling you and reiterating for you again, the only way to live life is to say, we'll make things happen. Never believe you are too small. For the want of a shoe nail, a kingdom was lost. So even the shoe nail plays an extraordinary important role in the winning of a battle. You are not small. You are significant. Let's make things happen. Together, let's do something beautiful for our lives. Where 2020 should not be remembered for COVID, it should be remembered for our determination to make things happen and how we took control and charge of our life and played a small role in the future of our country. Thank you so much. Wish you an extraordinary session. Stay relaxed, stay focused, don't panic. COVID is expanding in Pune like nobody's business. Don't be anxious, take the precautions, but stay rock solid and be extremely positive. Wherever you are, stay safe, stay healthy. Love you so much. Have a great time.